Hello everyone, my name is Omotayo over today, and I'm here to take you through what it means to optimize your LinkedIn profile. If you're here, it means you want to get the right opportunities, it means you want to attract global clients, it means you want to get the best kind of job for your niche or your industry. And so the starting point for that on LinkedIn is to optimize your profile. And so I'll be taking you through the essentials of optimizing your profile. Optimizing your profile on LinkedIn is way different from optimizing your profile on any other platform, because on Instagram or TikTok and the likes, you only have to throw in a bunch of words in your bio and you're good to go. But for LinkedIn, there is a need to be very, meticulous with whatever you'll be doing. And so there are certain aspects of your profile that are a must have or a must do, right? You have to ensure that these parts of your profile are properly optimized. And that's because, without these parts being optimized, you cannot even attract anybody to your profile. So now we have about 8 aspects of your profile that must be optimized. Starting with your profile picture, that's number one. Number two is your banner. Number three is your headline. Number four is your about section. Number five is your featured section. Number six is your skills section. Number seven is your experience section. Number eight is your recommendation section. And number eight is your recommendations section. And so it's very important that those 8 things that I just mentioned now must be properly infused into your profile the right way to get the right opportunities or clients. Now, let's get right into it, shall we? You get to see when it comes to your profile. And you want to ensure that your profile picture is a headshot of you that has a plain background, preferably in your brand color. So if you don't have a brand color yet, you can do your research, know what colors mean and what you want your profile to project to anybody that comes across it, and be sure to infuse that color into your background and whatnot, right? But ensure that your picture is professionally taken. It doesn't have to be a professional shoot. If you can afford a professional shoot, by all means, please go for it, because the more professional you look, the more you attract the right kinds of persons, right? So you want to ensure you have a very clear picture of you taking a headshot, emphasis on headshot. And so a headshot means, your head to your shoulder length, right? To your shoulders. So just that length is what you want to focus on for your picture. And so the picture has to be very clear. It has to be void of any distractions in the background, right? It has to be void of all of that. And that's why it's preferable to have a particular color for your background picture. The next thing is your banner, right? And so your banner is usually something that you have to design, or you get a graphic designer to help you with. Now, what is meant to be on your banner, right, is what you do, who you do it for, what results they get, and then a clear call to action. Now, you have to understand that your banner is like a mini billboard of you. The same way you go around and you see billboards, advertising different brands or different personalities, that is exactly what your banner is for. It's meant to scream what you do to people at a glance without them having to read the entire profile, right? So you're supposed to put like a summarized version of what you do, what results the people will get when they get to have you on board, and all of that in your banner. And preferably let the colors be in sync with the colors of your profile picture. The reason for that is just for this cohesiveness, sort of. There's a way it just makes people feel like you're put together, right? Some people have different colors. It's not bad, but then there's just a way it communicates that you're put together. So now let's look at how we can easily I have set up a profile here, just because I wanted to show you how it goes from the beginning to the very end, how to optimize your profile. So we'll be starting with the profile picture. Like I said before, I have a picture already. Yeah, so we'll just click on upload photo. yeah, I have a picture here already, and I just, yeah, that way, right? Of course, you can zoom it in. The more the more zoomed in it is, the better, because that way people get to see your face, right? Okay, so looks like I'm having an issue with, okay, I seem to be having an issue with this. Hmm. Mm. So zoom it in. Once it is properly zoomed in and you're satisfied with what you see, then you can click on save photo, right? So this is a picture taken of me in a professional studio, and um yeah, I'm having a bit of an issue. Looks like a network problem. But yeah, once you're done with that, you just click on save photo, right? You click on save photo and you're good to go. Right, you're good to go. So that's that for your profile picture. For your banner, like I said, you can use Canva. Canva is a very good tool to design whatever you want to design. There are templates already on Canva. Once you click on LinkedIn banner, once you search for LinkedIn banner templates, it brings up a number of templates, right? You can edit any of them and then design what you do, who you do it for, and a clear call to action. So a call to action means what step do you want this person that is viewing your profile right now to take, right? Whatever step you need them to take in that moment, you have to properly communicate it in your banner. And so to do that, we'll just go straight to, I already have my banner designed, so we just want to upload now, right? We just want to upload now. So yep, yeah, perfect, right? Perfect. So once you have this, you just click on apply. When you click on apply, it just automatically shows up on your profile that you have your banner, right? And so that already shows you that we have our picture and our banner set. And so to an extent, you've communicated value to whoever is viewing your profile. But that is just like a summary of what you do, right? For me, I help you build standout brands, attract your ideal clients, and sell on LinkedIn. For you, it could be you help them create content that converts and increase their revenue. It could be that you help them reduce, the time they spend on doing what's not productive, and you help them to increase their productivity, maybe as a virtual assistant or something, right? That's basically what we want to see in your banner. And then a clear call to action. My call to action here is go to my featured section. For you, it could be send me a DM, it could be send me an email, it could be any other thing, right? You have to decide what clear call to action you want to put on your banner. Now the next thing is your headline. Your headline is this part of your profile, right? You want to ensure that you write something that is catchy enough for your prospects. And so for me, I just reiterated what I already wrote in my banner, but in different, choice of words. Helping business leaders and freelancers to increase their revenue and sell on LinkedIn. Right now, I have been particular about choosing who my audience are. I'm not just working with everybody, right? But I'm particular about business leaders and freelancers. So it just narrows down the people that you are going to attract, right? It means that you're not open to everybody, because the truth is not everybody can need your service or can need whatever it is that you have to offer, right? So you have to be quite specific, right? And then, of course, you now include keywords that are peculiar to your industry. Once you're done writing that catchphrase in your headline about what you do, who you do it for specifically, maybe how you help them do it, what result they will get, but it has to be different from the words you put together in your banner, right? Once you're done with that, you have to ensure you now add your keywords that are peculiar to your industry, keywords that people will search for when they go, when they are looking for people in your niche. So say you're a virtual assistant, what you want to write is virtual assistant, maybe executive assistant, something of that sort, something that when people put it in the search box, you can easily pop up, right? So that's that for your headline. The next thing after your headline is your about section, right? And your about section is not here, is what is called summary. Here you say add a summary, right? When I click on add a summary like this, then it shows you that you have 2,600 characters to write your summary. Now your summary is the extended version of whatever you have written in your banner and in your headline, right? So whenever people come to your profile and they see your headline and then they see your banner, that's like an abridged version of what you do, right? Just because you want them to keep scrolling. But if a client or a prospect clicks your banner, reads your headline, and still goes all the way down to read your summary or your about section, trust me, it means that they're already getting interested in whatever it is you're doing, right? So you want to ensure that your summary shows everything that you do, everything about you, everything about your service, everything about what you do, that what makes you you. That's what you want to write in your summary. Now people make the mistake of putting their bio in their summary. No, that's not what your summary should be for. What you want to include there is what you do, how you do it, what tools you use, what experiences you have, what reviews or recommendations you've gotten from people, what people have said about your services. You want to brag. Basically, that place is for bragging, right? And so you want to use a particular technique, which we call PAS, PAS, right? Problem, agitation, and solution. Or you want to use a storytelling method. These two methods are what I tell people to apply to their summary. You have to choose either of them if you want to get the attention of your clients or those that you want to get in your profile, right? Your summary needs to have your so what your summary needs to have is basically what you do, how you do it, the tools you use, how you get it done, basically, right? But you have to start by ensuring you use something that is curiosity driven, can drive the curiosity of anybody coming across your profile. And how you want to do that is maybe by asking a question that can pique their curiosity, maybe something that is relatable to the problems they have, which you have solutions to, right? So your summary wants to start with a very, very catchy hook. So there's something we call hook. That's the first line or the first two lines of your sentence or of your write-up, right? You want to ensure that the hook is catchy enough to get anybody that wants to stay on your profile or wants to read your summary. Now, you can ensure that that hook is a question. You can make it a story, something that can keep them hooked to the very end, right? So for someone like me, my own profile, if you go to my profile, you see something like, do you want to stand out in a crowded market or industry? Are you tired of being among the crowd, being a part of the crowd and not being able to stand out? Something of that sort, right? You want to ensure that people can relate with that thing. It can now make them continue to read, and then towards the end you can now introduce yourself as the perfect solution to that and how you do what you do that makes you different from everybody else. Trust me, you have 2,600 words at your disposal. You can go all out, right? If it means starting with something that a client of yours said about you that just stood out for you, and you feel like there's nobody that sees it that wouldn't be compelled to your profile, you want to ensure that you add that, right? If that's going to be your first line and second line, it's fine. So you have to decide how you want to get the attention of your clients or prospects, and then use that to your advantage in the summary. Now, when you're done with your summary, whatever you're writing and all of that, When you're done with it, you have to ensure that there's also a clear call to action. So you have to see your profile on LinkedIn as a landing page. It is not just something that people are supposed to look at. It's not just your resume. If you want to get hired for a job, they have your CV for that. Your profile is supposed to enhance that CV. It's not supposed to be the CV itself. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, right? So you want to ensure that your profile lands them somewhere. It lands them to make a decision. It makes them to take an action, right? And so a clear call to action is what makes that possible. So you want to add a clear call to action in your summary, at the end of your summary. So if they've read to the end, it means that they want to take an action. And so your call to action can help them do that. So now that they've read about you, what do you want them to do? Send you a DM, send you an email, go to your featured section, subscribe to your newsletter. What do you want them to do, right? All of that is very important. Once you're done writing, then you click on save, right? You click on save. I didn't write anything here, by the way, but I just used that to share what can be done. So yes, once you're done doing that, the next thing you want to do is the featured section. Now, your featured section is not obvious on your profile. It's a section that you have to add specially, or maybe not specially, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? So you come to this place that says add profile section. When you click on add profile section like this, you go to core, right? Sorry, recommended. Recommended is where you go, and then under recommended you see add featured, right? When you click on add featured, it automatically appears on your profile. Now you want to add something to your featured section. Your featured section is a place that should sell you. It's a place where your offers should be accessible, right? Whatever offers you have, be it an ebook, be it a website, be it your portfolio, be it maybe what else? Be it any of these things I just said, or maybe your landing page, or maybe okay, so let's see examples of things that can be added to your feature section, right? So you have add a post, add an article, add a link, add media. All of these things are beautiful. A lot of people make the mistake of adding their most engaged posts to their feature section, but trust me, that's not what we're interested in. Like I said, your profile is meant to make your prospect take an action. It's meant to be a landing page. So if you're adding posts that had a really good reach to your feature section, to what end is that, right? So you want to add a link, and so links to different things that you can call yours, right? It could be your email list, it could be newsletters, it could be an ebook, a digital product, a course, your portfolio, something that's just, you feel like when people click it, it just generate leads for you. It just generate leads. Your feature section is supposed to be that place that helps you generate leads and consequently helps you get clients, right? So your feature section should have add a link. Add a link is the best thing you can add to your feature section. So for me now, I just want to use an example, right? Okay, so this is like a landing page for me for my challenge, right? So now that I have this, I'll just click on add, right? So you see that automatically it's put the title on my landing page on this link, right? Buy 21-day LinkedIn consistency challenge code 6 by blah 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 on seller. You can edit that to whatever else you want them to know, or whatever action you need them to take. And then you see this description part, this part that has description, ignore it completely. And the reason for that is because it increases the click-through rate of people. And we know that this generation are no longer moved by having to click. They just want to scroll through. They just want to glance through. And so you don't want to delay whatever, if they already took interest in you, Imagine them already taking interest in you, and then they have to click on something, and then they find out that clicking that thing means they have to click again on something, right? You don't want to make that, the situation here. So for your description, you don't want to put in anything. And because this link already has, on my landing page, has this flyer, that is why this is here. But say I want to change it now, right? Because and it's beautiful, right? If this is already something you have, the link already creates a flyer there, you can leave it. But you're meant to design something that will get the attention of people, right? You're supposed to have a picture there for just visual appeal. There's a thing we call visual appeal. So people are scrolling through your profile, everything is just texts. Everything is just text. There's a way it just makes your profile feel boring, right? And it can just make people click out of your profile. And you don't want that for yourself. So for visual appeal, design something, right? That indicates a call to action for that link that you already attached. So what you want to do is, design on Canva again. I just want to change this for the sake of it, just to show you guys what it's supposed to be like, right? So say this is the designed link now. This is the designed flyer for that link. It's just an example. Don't take it for it because this talks about a challenge, but this is telling you work with me, right? So once I do this, I just click on save, right? When I click on save, it automatically appears on my profile like that. Did you see that? Right? It automatically comes up on my profile as part of the featured section. So now we just go back and then continue with optimizing our profile. See how everything is beginning to come together, right? Your picture, your banner, your about section, if you already added one, then your featured section, perfect, right? Perfect. You can add more than one link in your featured section. This is just for an example. If you want to add more than one link, you only have to click on the plus sign and then you're good to go. Now your experience section, right? Your experience section is just like your CV. Your experience section are places you've worked before. And so what you want to ensure is in your experience section are not just tasks that you did. So for instance, now this everything here are just imaginary, right? So this Celsi consulting now, right? I was the executive assistant. And so if I was the executive assistant, it means that whoever I assisted must have gotten real value for whatever I did at their company, whatever I did for them, that in a way helped the company get better or helped the person get better. And so that's what I want to focus on in the description of my experience. A lot of people make the mistake of just adding tasks. So they can say something like executive assistant, then in the task they'll just say, created calendars for the CEO, organized travel packs, managed projects. But that's not what we want to see. As beautiful as those things are, they are just tasks, and everybody knows that these are part of what every assistant should do. But what made your working with this person spectacular, right? What achievements did you have? What results did you have by working for her? How did you really help her, right? Those are the things we want to see in your experience section. So this is just an example that I wrote here. I help because I'm still working there. It's present, so it means it's not yet a past job role, right? I help create an entirely different perception about the CEO, thereby increasing revenue by 30%. So, an entirely different perception might mean maybe handling our social media pages. So you have to be clear about that. So this is not even fully clear, right? It can be something like change the social media perception of the CEO, thereby increasing our revenue by 30%. And also it means that if you're saying that you have tracked your results enough to see that, okay, so the difference between when I joined and where this person is now, is something that can be measured by 30%, right? So all of that is what you want to ensure you include in your experience section. Your experience section should have numbers, it should have statistics, it should just show your results and not just your tasks. So you can do that for all the experience sections, all the experience, job experiences that you have encountered. This is just one. So if you have worked in 6 places, we want to see it like that across board. Ensure you have them in bullets and not just you writing stories in your experience section. We don't want to read stories. We want to read bullets. And I always tell people it shouldn't be more than 3 bullets. Try to keep it simple and straightforward as much as possible, right? So your education, of course, wherever you schooled, you have to include that. Your skills section, now this is another part that people tend to make mistakes of. Your skills section should have skills that relate to whatever it is that you do, right? You're a graphic designer, so want to see skills that are in tandem with graphic design. I don't want to go to your skills section as a graphic designer and I'm seeing things that pertain to human resource management. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. All of this means that you're attracting one type of client, right? So if they are seeing like a double personality of you, it gets them confused. So your skills section has to have skills that are relevant to what you do, right? And I always tell people, ensure your skills are no more than 25 max, 2025. Because why should you be having 50 skills? I've seen people have up to 70 skills. And I wonder why, right? So that's that for that. In the course of the challenge, we'll be endorsing people's skills. The more endorsements you get for your skills, the more credible you look to people that want to hire you. So you want to work on that. Now, the last thing is recommendations, right? Your recommendation section. So your recommendation section is just like your feature section that doesn't automatically appear on your LinkedIn profile. It is a section that has to be added, right? So let's go to add profile section again. So when you click on add profile, you go to recommended. Under recommended, you see recommendations. I know, right? Recommended recommendations. Yes. So under recommended, you click on recommendations and then you can ask people for recommendation. Now, the way recommendation works is just you getting somebody who is also on LinkedIn, right? And you have worked with to give you a good recommendation. It just increases your credibility chance. It just makes people who want to work with you and are kind of skeptical to just feel like, okay, this is definitely somebody I can work with, right? It just gives that, it automatically gives that kind of feel, right? So you want to ensure that if you have worked with somebody before and they've given you good remark, maybe on WhatsApp or something, and they have a LinkedIn profile, by all means, send them a recommendation request and tell them to recommend you. That you would really love what they said to you on WhatsApp to be repeated on LinkedIn. Yeah, so basically, this is how it works. You tell them, okay, so who do you want to ask? You just have to search for somebody, right? This, like I said, this particular profile is a new profile, so I had to create it to show you guys, right? So even if I search for somebody here, it will most probably not bring up anybody because I'm not connected with the person. So it has to be somebody you're connected with. So can you see, please enter a connection. It means that you have already sent connection request to this person has accepted. You people are a first connection, right? And so that person is the one that you can ask for a recommendation. Once you put the person's name, you click on continue, it asks you where did you work with this person, maybe based on your experience section, places you have worked with this person, and then you click on where it was. Then they ask you what was your role or what's your relationship with this person, or did you work on the same thing, work on the same team, did you work on different teams, did you, I don't know if you get what I'm saying, was this person your boss or were you this person's boss, something of that sort. You get to choose which one applies to the person, and then you just click on submit recommendation request. So it sends that recommendation request to the person sees it, the person accepts, the person writes their recommendation of you and then sends it back to you. When they send it back, it doesn't automatically appear on your profile. You have to accept or reject it, right? So based on whatever the person said, if it's something you're not comfortable with, if you feel like they did not express themselves as they ought to, you can decline and maybe tell the person to rewrite it. Of course, after sending another recommendation request. So basically, that's how it works. So the moment you accept that, then it appears on your profile as one of your recommendations. And there's a way it just makes people really trust your services. Like people will just feel like, this person is not a scam after all, especially because as a Nigerian, there is the tendency to um there's a tendency to be seen as a scam, right? So your recommendations just help you settle that easily, right? So that's basically what it means to optimize your profile. So I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that optimizing your profile is the best thing you can do to attract the right opportunities. Thank you. So tomorrow I'll see you in the next one.